We will be assembling the Rose Bouquet pop-up card. So this is my second time starting this video. I had already started it with putting the base together. So you fold everything on the score marks, then fold this piece down and back up, and fold this down, and then you glue these pieces in. And as you can see, when I kind of hold this together, it makes this top here with a 1/4 inch gap down in it on the top and the bottom. Okay, so if that's not making sense to you, check out the beginning of another pop-up card video, because they all go together the same way. So this funny looking piece, this is the vase, and this is the base that we're going to be building our bouquet on. And I want to make sure this is very sturdy, so I cut 2 of these, and we'll go ahead and glue these together. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink some around the edges of my vase. And I'm going to glue this piece on as well. I'm going to set this between my mats so it can flatten while we make the rest of these pieces. Okay, so you've got lots of different parts to this. Each rose, and I've already made 5 of them. So each rose is made up of these 5 pieces. I'm going to show you how I put them together. So I'm going to start by inking the tips of my petals. And for the first 2 layers on my rose, I'm going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to curl my petals so that they curl down. And to accomplish that, I'm just using a round end of my stylus, and I'm just rubbing it in a circular motion on my petals. You don't have to have a stylus in order to do this. You can do this with any type of rounded end that you can find. Sometimes you have a pen that might have a rounded end on it, or you can use a bone folder, anything you have handy that has a rounded end on it, you can use to do this. So this is the second petals, and I'm going to also curl these under. So I'm doing this from the back of the petals. And one reason for doing this is to make the flower full. Okay. Then when you have this one done, you can go ahead and glue it to the center of the first one, and you want to offset the petals And then I'm just going to use my stylus to push down in the center. Now this is the third layer, and on this one I'm going to roll my petals up. So I'm going to do this one with it face up. Go through the same process. The petals start to vary in size. This next layer gets a little bit smaller than the layer before. And so these I'm rolling up. And again, we're going to glue them to the center and offset these petals. And this is the fourth layer. And this one I'm also going to curl up. And glue it here in the center. And then the very last one, I'm gonna do up, and I'm gonna do it as tight as I can. I want this to just close up and just be a tight circle. So I'm just applying my pressure down and see how it's curling right up around my stylus. And then just pop that in the center. Okay, so we have one more flower to do. So you'll have one more opportunity to see. Start by inking my edges of my petals. Remember, this one I'm turning upside down. It really starts to make my hands cramp. And then roll it over. Okay. Now the next one. And the pad that I'm using is just an old mouse pad flipped upside down. So anything soft that you have, you can use. Okay, now this is the third layer of petals, and I'm going to roll these up. And just make sure you're alternating your petals. This is the fourth layer, and I'm going to roll these up. got the very last one. Okay, and there's our roses. So we also have some leaves. What I'm going to do with my leaf is I'm going to score a line down the center for the vein of the leaf. Then I'm going to flip it over and rub along the edges of the leaf to make it curl. And you just need to go along the edges. I'm also going to use the black inking on the leaves. Okay. Just like that. And then rub it along the edge. There we are. I have one more leaf to do, and then we'll start assembling these guys. Before I start the assembly, there's some little flowers for baby's breath. Because typically when you have a bouquet of roses, you'll have some baby's breath in there. Now these are totally optional. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to. I'm just going to apply pressure at the center of the flower, and I'm moving my hand in a circular motion to curl these up a little. Okay. And then, so for the baby's breath, there are these little branches, and you're just going to glue a flower right at the end of each branch. So we're going to go ahead and get these done so that these have time to dry. And again, these are completely optional. If you don't want to deal with these small pieces, then just leave them off. I don't know how many I'll use, but I'm just going to use up my flowers here that I have cut. And these will go on at the very end and you'll see how we're going to use them. So this goes together pretty quick. You can knock the flowers off easily, so you don't want to be handling them too much. And that's why we're doing them now, so we can set them aside to dry. Looks like this will be the last one. I have more flowers over there, but I don't think I'm going to need very many of these. So let's just do one more so I can do one more branch. Just in case. Okay. Now let's start assembling. So we can start here with another easy part of just putting together the little tag for the sentiment. And you can write or stamp something on this. And we'll set that aside. Okay, so now we've got, and when you're putting these on, you kind of want to interlock the flowers. I'm going to try to lay it out first to see how I want it to go. See how everything's going to fit. See where I want leaves to go. I know I want one there. Maybe one up there. I'm trying to keep my head out of the way, but I also need to see, so I apologize if I'm getting in the way. Okay. Well, I definitely want this one here, so I'm going to glue that on. I think I'll go ahead and balance that out by putting another one on this side. And then I'm going to glue these guys down. So, excuse my silence, I'm thinking about where I want everything to go. This is the first time I'm putting this together. Looks like I'm going to have to hold things a little bit longer than I first thought. That they stay. That one did not stay. Gotta hold these for a few seconds. There we go. I'm gonna have to add more glue to that one. And that one. Nothing's wanting to stay put. There we go. So we're just going to fit these in, fit them around. And then our baby's breath, and you'll have to adjust these to use, whoops, I did not mean to do that. I'm just going to slide them in. I gotta hold this up so I can see it better. There we go. See, those aren't glued down yet, so that's why they just popped all the way off. I guess I need to go ahead and glue those down. Go. So there is our vase. So your baby's breath should be okay, just slid in all the way. Mine are staying, they're not falling out. Okay, so there is our vase. I'm just trying to see where I want my leaves to be. I can't get this one back in there. There we go. Okay, so for the card base, you're working on this backwards. So this one that's furthest away from you is the front. You want to fold that on the fold line, and that's where this piece goes in. You're going to fold this down and slide this in all the way to the bottom, and then glue this tab. You're just going to glue this tab down. Okay. And then for your bouquet, turn it around, slide it into the bottom. And just put glue here. Whoops. Slid it over with my finger. Just put glue down here at the bottom of the tab, just on the white part, and you're going to fold this up and glue it to the bottom of this, okay? Hold that for a few seconds, make sure it gets good and stuck. You're going to fold this piece up and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put the glue here on the tab and you're going to glue this to it. This is very important because this holds the top of this base up. If you don't glue this to this piece, the top of this base won't rise when you open and close your card. So now I'm going to, with this one flat and this one straight down, but your tab folded up, we're going to put glue on our tabs. And we're going to glue this together. So bring this over and glue these pieces together. Okay. You can see here in the center we're gluing these two tabs together. And you're going to close this to close up your card. Then you push up the bottom, and there is your rose bouquet pop-up card. Thank you for joining me.